Welcome back to the artist always known as Alejandro. It's me, Alejandro. Today we are drawing Millipede. That's my character, but her real name is Miyakai. Or Miyakai? Should it be Miyakai? I think Miyakai works. Now, yes, I did her in pencil first. A little bit of cheat, but we're still going to use our framing for the eyes, the box that I've been doing. And just this little triangle for the nose and these half circles for where the eyes will fall. And just kind of mapping out her mouth area. Just some lines to give us a little guidance. And then within there you can fit your chin, and then where the ear will fall. Your center line will divide the head in half. There you go. A little brainy, but it's okay. And then just some kind of guidelines to show you where the cheeks are going to fall and whatnot. This is the experimental phase. Remember that. And just start breaking down. It's feeling the geometric thing. It's kind of helped me. Then thinking of where the muscles are and shoulder blades, bones even, how they would come out of the body. It's been helping a little bit. Of course, a little imagination goes a long way. But yeah, breaking these into little geometric shapes has been quite the help. Hopefully it's working for you. Whatever is working for you, do it. But if this is working for you, follow along. I appreciate it. You can always like and subscribe. I'm still trying to churn these out every week. Although the message seems clear that you prefer me to draw female characters over dudes. Because I've got like hardly any views on my dudes. Oh, you're not giving the dudes love here, huh? Maybe more female characters are in demand. I'll have to do that. In the center line. Now, Millipede is in fight to save the universe. She has a brother named, oh yes, Centipede. Same exact idea, except it's a male with spikes in the arms. And even in the legs, if needs be, maybe. I did do it in the legs when I was a kid. I don't know, legs seem a little bit excessive, but could make for an excellent defense. Almost like the creatures of the same namesake. Millipedes and centipedes, their little legs can sting. Can make her a little larger, fill in the page. There we go. And moving on from the pencil, now it's time. I have my regular paper to pencil highlighted as well as my little guideline I just did. Just to show you. Now I'm fading out the guideline and just going with my ink. I'm going to a 5 for the brush size. Starting her face. Always like to start with face. So as I was saying, Millipede is part of Fight to Save the Universe. And she is blasted onto the planet that has the mighty monsters. So she teams up with them, along with Sinra and Pyrene and some others. They're dudes. But I guess I'm not going to draw them. Because you don't seem to like dudes. At least my dudes. I figured I'd draw Millipede. Miyakai. Just invented that name. She kind of feels like a big sister kinship to Sinra. Because Sinra is very scared and confused and doesn't even speak a language anybody but her understands. Millipede understands her until, of course, a spell is cast and then everybody can understand Sinra. But Millipede spikes can shoot. She can shoot multiple spikes distances. So she can impale you with them. Either point blank or from a distance. So watch out. It'll come in very handy when she's taking on the monsters. I think I have her facing off against Imhotep's army. Maybe going toe to toe with Ankh-Sunamun. Gotta have her in there. Bad Mummy Babe? Of course. Originally, Millipede and Centipede were lovers, of course. Almost all my characters were married or dating. If there was a male or female, it was like, okay. But I think it's cooler, like maybe they're brother and sister, and they got similar powers. Maybe they were experimented on. I don't really have much of a backstory. Centipede's on a different planet. Don't worry. He's alive. But he's on a different planet. Gotta separate everybody. They get worried that their loved ones and teammates are dead. Because the mad tyrant Captarg is planning to take over the universe, and fighting with our heroes creates a big bang, so to speak, and blasts people into different dimensions, universes, worlds. That's what this is all about. I don't know why I suddenly became Australian there. Some words are fun to say with an accent. No, I kind of was influenced by the video games Centipede and Millipede for the names. Thought that'd be cool to make human characters with those names. I don't see them out there. However, the initial look and color was inspired. I ripped it off of a Marvel character, I think, called Thorn. He's yellow with red spikes, and you can shoot them. Think he faced off against Scarlet Witch and Vision? Yep. I did a lot of that. Like, oh, let me make my own version. I like the colors, but I'm going to do that. Although, I was thinking of changing the colors on them. I might. But man, I really love the yellow and red on them. But we'll see. Because it is a very plain, simple costume. Actually, his just has the underwear. He's shirtless, of course. He's got to show off his muscles. But I put a little racer back top on her. That's right, I said racer back. And she has razors coming out of her forearms and tricep area. 4 spikes per forearm seems like enough. A little trouble drawing them, but let's get through it. Remember, take your time, work at your own pace. When you're following along with me, you can pause the video. If you need a break, grab something to eat, something to drink. You need to go outside, stretch the legs, crack the knuckles, or something like that. Change your tool to write on. And I did make hair a separate layer. I always seem to like to do that with these. Hair can be kind of funky, and as its own layer, you can play around a lot more without messing with your first layer there. I had some of this hair swishy stuff going on. As you can see from the final result, I kind of tame it down because it looked a little unnatural to me. I like to add some dynamic stuff to her hair, but it just seemed a little too much. The hair wasn't making sense. Just adding a few lines here and there just to give it some body. And the spikes in the hair I put on the same layer. Yes. Hope your art week is going well. Sure you're creating other things. Maybe you're creating some Halloween stuff. I hope you are. Yeah, Millipede isn't really a monster or a Halloween character, but in the Mighty Monster team up, none of them are regular, normal humans or human type characters. They're all aliens of some sort, or monsters, demons like Pyrene. And there she is. So just gotta erase. There we go, those lines. All right. You know what time it is. It's time for those little details. Just kind of fine tune a few things. Obviously, off camera, I will fix some lines, make things a little more presentable, tighten up stuff. I wanted to give her a little cheekbone. Millipede's a little older. She might be in her late 20s, early 30s. That's a little older? Well, she's not going to be a teeny bopper, that's for sure. I had her and her brother with another team of characters. I think I called them the Nomad Warriors. And Sinra was part of that, as you saw in that sketch I had of Sinra as when I made her a human. But then I figured Sinra would be all by herself. And I'm not sure. Maybe Millipede and Centipede are with two of the members, Pultra and Power Fury. Yeah, that's his name, Power Fury. Just a little detail to the lips. I put my brush at 4, and it's working great. You can really fine-tune stuff, but you do have to turn your canvas around a lot. There we go, the shade under the chin. Obviously, erase some of those lines. We don't want her to have a hairy chin. That's the beauty of this. I'm going to add another. I'm going to do a little cross-hatching of my own. Just to give it a little more character. A little shoulder blade action. She's got to be physically fit. She's got these spikes, and they may not weigh much, but they've got to have some density if she's going to be stabbing baddies with it and shooting spikes into them. So she's a little more physically fit. She's a nomad warrior. Ha ha ha. I was all about teams. I was influenced by, of course, Justice Society of America, Justice League of America, Avengers, Defenders, Fantastic Four. I love teams because there's that dynamic. You could bounce off each other. You could have dialogue. You could have conflict. You could have relationships. Become friends. You grow tight. There we go. And a little more thick lines there. Overlap them. It gives it a little more shimmer. There we go. Now with her spikes, I just wanted these little, almost like it's a vein. You're seeing the vein, the area that the spikes pop out. And they can pop out as many times as she needs them. If she shoots the spikes, they'll just regenerate. It's never ending. It's to infinity and beyond. Ha ha ha. Just a little muscle there. Like I said, she's a little more cut. I only have 3 spikes on the tricep, back of the arm. I figured that was enough. And I do lower them. As I look later on, I see that these spikes are way too high compared to her left arm. But for now, we'll do this. And I just wanted to add the shade to the tip of it. I think it works a little better. A little bit of that for her muscles, a little cross-hatching there. Just a little bit of there. There's that shoulder muscle. A little hint of her boobie. I'm going to make it a little darker here because this would be in the shadow. When you're doing it like this, it's a lot of line work. Obviously, if you're doing a regular pencil, you could just kind of go a few times over and it creates just a nice texture. Here you got lines. Sure, I could do something like that with the airbrush, but it's I prefer the line work because that's what we've been doing so far. You can always mix it up. I'm not saying we're married to that idea. So moving on to this arm, I have to lengthen it later, but I wanted some of these lines. And here I wanted to add the opposite. I wanted the spikes to have shade there because it'd be under her arm. I wanted to show that effect. So there'd be shade there, and going in the same direction of the forearm just adds a nice dynamic feel it kind of almost an extension of the forearm. But you don't need to go all the way to the tip of the spike. You can if you want, but I kind of like where it stops there. See, you just have enough. Gives you a little more dimension. And of course her bracelet, this. And a little bit of lines to her fist. She's ready to go. Take your time, enjoy this. That's what it's all about, having fun drawing. Look at my other videos. Anything tickles your fancy. I've been drawing some intellectual property characters too, as you can see. I want to give you some of my originals. Man, I can't believe, as of this recording of this video, Halloween's next week already. Dang. It's going to be a week from today from this video being aired. That's nuts. I know I said something earlier in another video about doing more Halloween stuff. I just never got around. I wanted to color some things for you, but I'm working on another project. At my day job, we're doing a Pac-Man theme, so I volunteered myself to make a full-size Pac-Man arcade game. Coming along, but it's a process. All art is a process. It's the journey getting there. You make discoveries, you learn things, you find ideas, you create ideas, you let things flow. It's the beauty of art. It's the wonder of it. Like I said, if you're feeling down or lost or something, pick up a pen, pencil, stylus, marker, draw. Just draw. It doesn't have to be figures. It could be anything you want. Bricks, squares, circles, landscapes, animals, plants, flowers, spaceships, Mecca, anything that you really are feeling, just do it. It's wonderful, therapeutic, and it's part of who we are. We are creative beings. When people say I don't have a creative bone in my body, you're a liar. You're lying to yourself. You do. It may not be what I'm doing, but I'm sure you have creative ways of doing things. Maybe the way you make your food, or the way you negotiate things, how you make your money, how you repair a car, how you wash a floor. There's creative things in that too. So embrace it. Lean into it. My friend says into her podcast, lean into your curiosity. It's a good podcast. Check it out. I was interviewed on her podcast a while ago when I had mine. The Artist Matters. But that's such a great statement. Lean into curiosity, right? Lean into curiosity. I think that's what it's called. Just leaning into that. You're curious about something. You're wondering, like, well, should I try this? Should I not try this? Should I do this? Yes, do it. Fix her face a little bit. It just seems strange to me. There were some spots there that just weren't happening. Just even these little spots where there's little details that might be missing. So that's that. And here I just blew up my airbrush. Just did some gray. I wanted to keep it very simple, almost like a vignette thing. A little darker in the corner. Just being careful as not to make the screen move, because sometimes it'll happen in Clip Studio Paint. If you go too far the edge, you'll be moving your little sections around. I think it's very annoying. Now it's time to thicken some lines, give her some dimension. I do have something planned a little differently for Halloween. It'll coincide with my last place to visit during the Halloween season, theme park-wise. As you know, I go to Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Orlando, and I went to SeaWorld Orlando for their Howl-O-Scream. And my last stop is going to be Busch Gardens Howl-O-Scream. I'm going to do it the day after Halloween. That's the plan. But I have something for you to see. So, Mia Kai, Millipede, getting her final touches on the detail lines, and voila, there she is. I think it came out good. As you can see, I fixed her right arm and moved the spikes down a little more, and I even extended her left arm a little bit more. It seems a little too short. So there she is. How'd you enjoy drawing her? I hope you did. It was fun drawing her. She's a real cool character. And you're real cool for joining along. Thanks as always for watching and drawing. Like and subscribe to the artist always known as Alejandro playlist. And I will see you on the next video. Until then, keep creating.